Hello, YouTube. So today I want to talk about abortion, and this is sort of brought to you by Kizumi Fowler, if I'm saying that name correctly. He is he has a lot of good opinions. He's got some opinions I definitely disagree with for lots of reasons. It depends on the subject, but it seems to boil down to he has some ideas about that, like he has value ideas that it's largely based on our society, our how people have decided to value things, and without actually tying that into what they believe in on other fronts. And the reason I think this happens the most is because people think that human beings have intrinsic, inherent value. As in, I am worth this because I'm a human. That's it. That's the only reason I'm worth this, whatever that is. Doesn't matter. You don't have to actually put an actual number to it. You don't have to, because it's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. It has no basic in logic. It has no basis in morals. It's just, bleh. So, to tie that into abortion, clearly means I must be okay with it. I am. For many, many reasons. Reason number one, babies do not have inherent value. There is no mandate for babies. If you value human beings existing, just in general, then yeah, you want babies to exist at least on some level. That does not mean you have to have all of the babies. See, other species get it. They understand that there are limited resources. A shit ton of different species, depending on the environment, depending on their resources, cannibalize or kill their own babies. We used to do that. But then people decided, I like babies too much. So that's the baseline for me as far as why I disagree with him on this. But it's also the weakest reason. The second reason for the humanity's need to abort, we do need to abort to some degree. We need to slow down the growth of humans in general. And that kind of goes back to the resources thing. Because we're going to starve our ecosystem. There is no predator for us, but we outnumber all other life. Think of it this way. For every gazelle or whatever, there's a shit ton of grass. But for every gazelle, there's only one, or like for every 10 or 20 gazelle, there's like one lion. Or something like that. I think that's the rough translation. Don't quote me on the exact number because I don't know it. Point is, for every lion, there is way more gazelle. Because the lion have to eat the gazelle. So we are an apex predator that doesn't equal what we consume. We are so dominant in our ecosystem that it's destructive to the environment. We will kill off the place that we live just by existing. It's in a number of ways. It has to do with global warming, climate change, whichever one you prefer. They're basically the same thing. It's the science that matters there. Who cares? We create infinitely more waste than the ecosystem can clean. What else can you say to that? Now, here's the thing. I would like a kid someday. I would. But to be so against abortion in general, or in his case, he's not truly against abortion by the sounds of it. Like he said, he does say he's pro-choice in the sense that it's like you can't force someone to grow something in them. But the way he also described it is he wants every life possible to be born. That is what he implied very heavily. He wants every life to be born. Now, if every single human life comes into existence, then humanity will go extinct by our own design. Not because there's nothing to regulate humans. The only thing that can regulate humans is other humans. And if we are going, if as people we want peace, if we want tranquility, if we want everyone to get along and not be complete dicks, to the level that you don't have to worry about other humans, then there's going to have to be less humans. I'm not saying don't kill everybody. I'm not saying let everyone live. I'm saying don't idolize life. There's no inherent value to life. There is the perspective that life is good, right? Life is good in certain situations. But you can't have life in all situations. Life in all situations it's not something that can sustain itself. Until if we want things to just progressively get better as far as technology, if we want understanding of all sorts of things to take hold, then we have to give up some of the bullshit. And what's bullshit is saying, I am worth this much. I am worth this much. You can't say that I'm not worth this much. Everyone is worth this much. You can't say, how dare you, sir? How dare you say I am not worth this much? Who decided that? Who decided that anything or anyone is worth something? Other people. You value other people based on your opinion, based on blah, but they do not have inherent value. You cannot say to anyone, really, you are worth this much. Just this much? No, this much. How can you put a value to human life? Because you like it? Sure. I like life. But you can't have literally everything. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I would one day like to have a kid. But if someone else if I don't have the resources to have said kid, then I am harming not only myself but the environment and the rest of humanity. All right, what other arguments do I got for this? Oh, simple autonomy. If you think life begins at conception, because here's the thing, a lot of people make this comparison. Oh, you're just a bunch of cells. It's just a growth of cells. Yeah, that's accurate. It's not a joke. It's not a hyperbole. It is fact. At conception, you are just a bunch of cells. At adulthood, you are just a bunch of cells. Now, as an adult, you can look at another adult and say, hey, I like being my current bunch of cells. Please don't kill me. That's how societies work. That's basically how societies work. We all agreed, hey, I don't like it when you kill me. And if you're at the point where you can get all right, you know what? If you're at the point where someone cares about you and they have enough if someone cares about you, you should be alive. If you are at the point where someone can care about you and you care about yourself, then you can be alive. Because, again, we are just a bunch of cells. It's not a joke. It's not hyperbole. It's none of that. Everyone is a bunch of cells. I'm a bunch of cells. You're a bunch of cells. Everyone's a bunch of cells. There's no value to a bunch of cells. We eat a bunch of cells all the time. There's literally no way we could survive without eating a bunch of cells. No, I'm not advocating for cannibalism. That's gross. It's disgusting. See, that was a joke because in Kizumi Fowler's video, he called abortion gross and disgusting. Well, no, he said disgusting specifically. I don't think he said gross. But there's a lot more to it than just that. There's also the libertarian angle. Hey, you can't tell somebody what not to do with their bunch of cells in their body. They have the choice to deal with the bunch of cells in their body as they feel fit. If they don't care about it, why are you saying that you're caring about their bunch of cells? Because if there is any sort of idea of property, your body is definitely your own. So if you can care about my property all you want, it's still mine. I still have the final say. You can't tell a woman, hey, you know that bunch of cells that you don't want? You have to have it. It's mandated that you have this bunch of cells. Because we said so. In the video that Kizumi was responding to, there was a law of some sort that would allow third trimester abortions. I don't know all the details to it, but allowing somebody to do something that harms no one, that is currently able to, that is cared about, because that's what it is. We have, if you're so mad at abortion, then oh my God, what about all the foster kids? What about all the wow, I'm blanking on this word right now. Orphanages. There we go. Until we are in a world where there is zero people in orphanages, there is no excuse not to allow people to have abortions. Because in the world where kids are not wanted by the thing that literally brought them into this world, then how can you stand there and say, abortion's right? I don't get it. I don't get how you can sit there and say, this kid is not wanted at all. He was so unwanted that they gave it up because they had no choice, or they really didn't want the kid, but they had to because abortion's bad. If you live in a society that forces people to have something they do not want, to the degree that they would either poison themselves or subject themselves to some sort of surgery, then why are you telling them what to do? All right. I'm not sure how much more I can rant on this. It's honestly one of my longest videos. To wrap it up, yeah, I'm going to link this all back to the thing that has helped me the most: nihilism. Because if you value something for reasons, for the kind of reasons that people value things, how do I better say this? If you value things like, if you value things like as if they have inherent value, as if this duster has inherent value, then that actually forces a lot of bad things. Because if this has inherent value, then there are things that have less value than it. And there are things that have more value than it. And as far as life is concerned, no. There is no inherent value to life. We, as all the people in the world, choose what to value. And for many of our problems, we have decided to ignore that in favor of babies. We don't have inherent value. But that's okay. It just is. All right. Bye.